Hi everybody, I'm Crystal Stranahan and welcome to our Author Logo Solutions tutorial. Now, what is the goal of creating an author logo? You want to distill your style into a recognizable icon. The goal of your logo is to pack your style into a small container. A hardworking logo condenses a lot of information into a small area. If you could chart a good logo, it has a high pixel to info ratio. Using just a few elements, like your name, a color, and maybe an image, you want to instantly convey what you're all about. There are 3 main steps to creating a hardworking logo. You want to get clear on what you want, get creative about what you put together, and then get consistent about using it. But it's really important to make sure that you are clear before you jump in. It can be fun just to get in there and play with cool fonts and fun images, but you'll save a lot of time if you first get clear about exactly what you want to convey to your readers. You need to know who you are, and then you need to claim that with your logo. Because a logo is one of the cornerstones of your evolving brand, you want to be really clear about how you are positioning yourself in the market. It needs to clearly and immediately convey your style. How is what you offer different than all the other authors out there? What sets you apart? Help the reader know why they should take a chance on you with their investment of time and money. The logo is about you, but it's always about giving the reader an experience. Your logo needs to convey what is your superpower. Think of your logo as being like the blurb that goes on the back of your book. It doesn't say everything, but it gives the flavor of the book in a concise way. And in the same way that a book cover distills the essence of what's inside, a hardworking logo gets people wanting more of you. If you haven't seen the author branding tutorial yet, be sure to work through that before you tackle creating your specific logo. Once you're clear about the qualities you want to convey, then it's time to get creative. So let's get to the nitty-gritty of a hardworking author logo. So what makes a great logo? Well, it has to be readable. Cannot emphasize that enough. It has to be distinctive. And it's okay to take some risks here. Be yourself. It also needs to convey memorable information, such as being able to tell right away that someone writes period romance or someone writes sci-fi romance, something that's clear. Of course, you can use color on your website and social media, but your logo should also work in black and white in case it goes in something like a writer's conference program as well. Sometimes your logo will fit as a long horizontal strip, but in other uses, say on a business card, it might work better stacked. Having one that works well in both configurations is a plus. As an author, you are the brand. Your logo, generally, is your name, possibly with a stellar image, and a tagline that helps readers tune in to what you're writing. There's a saying that will help understand how important a logo is. How you do anything is how you do everything. For example, how you pack for a trip resembles the way you throw a party, which resembles the way you write a story, which resembles the way you create your logo. Do you research it ad nauseum before attempting one? Do you jump in with both feet playing with color and fonts but can't quite ever narrow it down? Or maybe you procrastinate until somebody tells you they need it sent today. Are you a risk taker? That will show up in your palette or your font choice. Or maybe you're clear and straightforward. The moment you try a script font, you'll recoil immediately. Would you no sooner attempt a DIY logo as you would cut your own hair? All the patterns of choices you've accumulated reveal themselves in your logo. Don't worry, that's a good thing. You want the right people to find you. Let's look at some examples of hardworking logos. Now, in this one, the fanciful script in pink gives away the feminine slant immediately, but the tagline says she's got some surprises up her sleeve. Beck McMaster's logo is complex with a mix of right and left brain imagery, the paint splatter and the geometric shapes. I'd imagine her plots are also intricately woven. The paint splatter is eye-catching, but it doesn't overshadow the name. Lisa Shelby's logo mixes the feminine script with a less traditional palette for romance. The light to dark on her last name suggests there may be some darker elements to her stories, and the letters compacted tells me her plot points follow in rapid succession. Love Geek says contemporary romance loud and clear. Jackie Lantern's logo tells you exactly what kind of story she writes. The corvid bird portends a touch of darkness, as does the ultra-bold last name and the tagline. All the elements work together to convey a similar vibe. There's no contradiction, no mixed messages here. That is a hard-working logo. MD Massey's logo uses massive texture, including a shrouding, misty, distressing treatment to the base of the letters. Imagine the logo without that, though. Ho-hum, right? It's sketchy, it's shrouded, something's missing. All these components work with the tagline to depict suspense and mystery. The palette isn't dark or ghastly, though, which tells us it's more thrills and chills than gore. This logo is not for an author per se, but it definitely demonstrates how much one well-chosen image can reveal. Here's another logo that's not for an author, but it does provide an example of how to think out of the box when it comes to logos. This idea could be used by an author whose superpower is dynamic dialogue. He said, she said books. It's cool to use ideas to springboard a whole new look, but don't copy another logo outright. For example, use the same speech bubble exactly in that color with your name in that exact type. However, if you change the palette and the speech bubble style, then maybe you could adapt that to fit your brand. Adele Huxley's logo suggests a complex writer who writes intricate, seamless plots. It's not immediately evident what genre she writes in, but I'm guessing it's not romance. If you write in a few genres, a typographic logo could work for you. Color choice goes a long way to conveying your vibe. Is it bright and happy? A little moodier or muddier? Maybe it's dark and brooding? The eye can detect literally millions of colors, so which ones are yours? Look in your closet for starters. Those were all chosen by you for one reason or another. Pick out the 3 items you wear the most and try them on for size on your logo in terms of the colors. And of course, fonts and typography play a big part in what a logo says, besides just your name. Are you flamboyant? Are you hypermasculine? Are you a little quirky? Maybe you're bold or traditional or romantic or futuristic or casual. You can see from the examples how the font translates into a tone or a feeling or a personality as well. You're going to need to brainstorm dozens of configurations. Try different interesting font combinations, try different colors, use upper and lowercase combinations and see how those fit together. Keep playing with it until you match the mood or the style of writing and find something that fits with your brand. Trust your instincts, but don't rush the process. Sometimes it takes looking at hundreds of fonts to find the one that's just right for you. I won't sugarcoat it. Anyone can make a logo, but a hard-working logo takes time and thought. And if you find you're just getting frustrated and all you want is to get back to writing, consider hiring a professional designer. The right image can convey a lot in a small space, so make sure you've got one that reinforces what your tagline and palette are saying. Be sure to check out the worksheet, which has links to sources like fonts and images. There are a range of different professional tools that you can use. Be sure to download the worksheet, which has links to more resources you can make use of. You're a writer. You can't be expected to know every term in graphic design. We've assembled a glossary or cheat sheet of terms you might run into, so when your printer asks if you want your business cards to bleed, you won't be too shocked. You'll know they're talking about whether or not the ink runs right off the edges. You deserve a hard-working logo, one that relays information quickly and accurately. Don't worry if your logo and all your branding feels a little too big at first. It needs to carry you through the next stage of your professional growth, so make sure it has a little elbow room. In time, you'll grow into it. Get consistent. Well, mostly. A hardworking logo needs to be flexible enough to fit in a variety of situations and media, but it's not going to work everywhere. However, as long as you're consistent about using the same font, palette, and tagline, you'll be getting your brand across. A brand's net worth builds over time and with repetition, so give it a chance to accumulate some magic for you. Okay, now it's your turn. First, it's time to get clear. Write down your 3 traits or ideas you want people to think of when they hear or see your name. Now get creative. Practice playing with fonts and different images. Research what other authors in your genre are doing. Google other authors. How do they represent themselves? What common elements do they have? And how can yours be different? After you've looked at a dozen or more logos, borrow your favorite ideas to see how your name looks. Steal like an artist, by which we mean steal inspiration, not the actual forms of things. Don't ever copy someone else's design exactly. You'll use your logo for many years, so make sure you give it some time to develop one that makes you feel proud. Mark time in your calendar to work on your logo and give it its due. Then, when you're ready, narrow it down to your top 5 favorite ideas. Once you've got those top 5 ideas, it's time to get feedback. What you came up with might be very clear to you, but others might see it differently. Make sure you ask them for specifics. For example, they love number 2 but hate number 4. That's great, but see if they can identify why. And remind them it's not about what they would choose for themselves, but which one reflects you and your work best. For example, you might think the knife you put slicing your letters is edgy, but if someone else reads it as a letter opener, that's not going to get you where you want to go. Now, once you've chosen a favorite, it's time to get back to writing. It's great to invest some time to create your logo, but don't use it as another excuse to not write. A logo is important, but it can evolve, so don't get paralyzed into thinking it has to be perfect. Pick one and run with it. Even a just okay logo used consistently looks more professional than not having one at all and just typing your name in different fonts every time. However, it is not meant to be another procrastination tool. So, now it's time. Pick one, pick your favorite, and run with it for now. Now, your logo is just one piece of your author branding suite, so make sure you check out the rest of our modules. There are 6 in total as part of this set, so you'll want to look at author branding first, and then design basics, author logos, color palettes, typography, which is fonts, and also taglines. And once you've completed all of those modules, you'll have a complete set of branding assets you can use throughout all of your author work. Thank you for being a part of this Creative Academy event. If you're not a member yet, join us today and unlock a wealth of resources, masterclasses, feedback opportunities, and online community events designed to help you reach the next step in your writing journey. No matter what stage you're at, we've got a helping hand to guide you along the way. Check out our free resource room if you'd like to get a taste of how we can help you reach your writing and publishing goals. Thank you for bringing us along on your writing and publishing journey, and Donna, Eileen, and I hope we'll see you around the Creative Academy soon.